All right, so I am so tired of dealing with these dealerships, and I'm a used car dealer. So lately I've been looking for a used car for myself to drive, do some content with. And I know what a lot of you are saying, why don't you just go pick it up at the auction? Well, what I'm looking for is a Tesla Model S. And there's just not a lot of them that show up at auction. So I'm probably going to have to find one through an actual dealership. And I went and looked at one yesterday with the intent to actually buy it. And you know what? Let me just show you the one that I looked at. So this was at a dealership. I'll make myself smaller, and it's a 2017 Tesla Model S. It's a 75, and they were on the internet. They have it listed for $13,872. I was like, well, this is a great price. I want to let me scroll down too. I'm gonna show you the mileage. It's got 182,000 miles. That is an absolute ton of mileage on this Tesla. But hear me out. So I want to be able to buy something like this that has really high mileage to be able to show, okay, how do Teslas, especially the used ones, hold up? And if I can find one where it's got 150, even anything over 100,000 miles, it's going to be cool to really show, okay, how much has the battery gone down? What's the build quality? How does it hold up? How are the clips on the interiors? All the things that you hear about. Well, I want to actually see it for myself. If I'm a car market, I wouldn't call me an analyst. That's giving me too high a praise. If I'm someone who is reporting on the car market, giving my take on it, obviously the EV side of things is a big part of the market, and I want to be able to report on that. I want to be able to talk about Tesla because they're the biggest player in the market, and I feel like for me to be able to really give my opinion, give my 2 cents on it, I need to own one. So I'm going to buy one, but this is really my experience going to this dealership yesterday. So I saw this online and I called this dealership and said, okay, I'm looking at this Tesla. I know you probably got some kind of fees, at least a dock fee, something. And I just want to know what it is before I come in there. And the salesperson I talked to said, oh yeah, just come on in and we'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah, that's fine. I understand you got to say that and you want to get me in. No problem. I'm still going to come in no matter what the fee is. Just can you please tell me what your add-ons are, what your dock fee is, just so I know if I'm a cash buyer, how much I need to have before I even come in there to even think about looking at this car. I just want some numbers, right? He was like, "Yeah, don't worry about the fees. I can go ahead and tell you that we have never lost a customer because of our fees." Well, that's absolutely a lie because you know that if they have any fees whatsoever, they have lost at least one customer because they're just going to come in there and say, "You know what? I'm not paying any fees on top of this car." So that was an absolute lie. Whatever. I'm not calling them on it. Say, "Okay, that's all well and good. That's fine. Please, 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 sir, can you help me out?" And literally just tell me, you know what? Just tell me what your doc fee is. That's all I want to know. Oh, just come in. We'll talk about it. I just want to tell you that we've never, ever, ever, ever lost a customer because of the fees, the add-ons that we have here. And he just kept saying this. I kept asking the same question over and over and over again, and he kept giving me the same answer. So I just, in my brain, I'm like, okay, it seems like we're just going through the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's what I was expecting. But the salesperson would not give me these numbers over the phone. I said, look, okay, please, sir, I just want you to help me out. Please. And I'm look, I got my hands together like I'm begging, just recounting the story, right? So please, uh, just humor me, just help me. I just need this little bit of help. Please, will you just tell me what your doc fee is? And I finally got him to say that, sir, I can't give you that over the phone. I'll lose my job if I do it, which is absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully, this dealership is not putting their salespeople in a position where if they're going to tell someone what the fees are over the phone, then they're going to lose their job. I, I can't believe he said that. Either one, he's lying, or this is a terrible management staff that they have here to make their salespeople scared that they can't even divulge what you're going to pay for the car whenever you get there. So, anyway, he said he couldn't do it, and then finally he used the excuse, okay, well we're on a CDK system and I can't pull up anything. So I said, okay, okay, why didn't you just tell me that in the first place instead of going through all of this saying that you couldn't tell me fees or the phone, whatever. Just tell me that in the first place. He said, yeah, well, I'm sorry, and really even after that, after I learned what their fees didn't change depending on the price of the car. So even with this, I feel like was a lie from the salesperson that I was talking to on the phone because they obviously if it's a more expensive car, the fee's not going up. It's a static fee. Both the dock fee and the add-ons that they had were the same no matter what. So this salesperson could have absolutely given me those numbers over the phone because the second I walked into the store, I was able to ask and they were able to show me what the fee was that they were going to be added on to this used car. Anyway, okay. Got to the store. They wanted me to set up an appointment. I said, look, I'm just going to come in like 30, 45 minutes. They said, no, we need an appointment. So you want to set it for 1:45 or 3 o'clock. I said, okay, well, 1:45 is closer to the time I'm going to be there, but I'm coming right now. So either way, I'm just put me down, but I'm going to show up. So showed up at this dealership and this Tesla that they want to show me. Let me pull up the pictures again. So you can see from this picture over here. Look at the front right here. So I don't know if they used a different car for this, and it's my fault because if I go through some of the other pictures, I can see the actual damage that's there. But on this main picture that they're using, there's no damage to the hood. But when I got there, there was quite a big gash, like right above the T in the Tesla. It was dipped in like that much. So this picture it either happened after the picture was taken, or this is not the picture of the car that they're trying to advertise. Either way, it's not a good look from the dealership side for the customer to show up. I'm the customer, and the car is not the exact representation of what I'm seeing online. So anyway, went there, noticed that initially. I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm trying to get this thing as cheap as possible to have hopefully have the videos pay for it anyway. That's fine. Maybe I can get more knocked off of it if because of this issue or whatever. So walked in and talked to the salesperson and said, "Okay, I'm here. I want to check out this Tesla, and I'm hoping that this one that's sitting out here next to this charge port is not the one that I was looking at because it had the hood damage." And obviously, he played it like, "Oh, no big thing," and it's okay, no problem, whatever. So he got the keys, and I sat in it. I wanted to test drive the car because I was serious about buying it. I mean, I had the money, I was ready to go. If it drove fine and it was something that I felt like I could use. The battery literally had 1% charge on it. So they had that car sitting out ready to be sold, but you can't drive it. This was kind of a red flag for me. I don't understand how the dealership could. It'd be the same situation if I had a car on my lot and I had zero gas on it, like the gas light was already on. If a customer, and this has happened before, I mean, sometimes we have 70, 75, 80 cars that are on our lot that can be sold. And every once in a while, we're going to have one that went on multiple test drives, doesn't get bought for whatever reason. And I mean, we have so many cars and such a small team that it just there's no gas in it. So this happens every once in a while. We try not to let it happen, but it's a scenario where, okay, if a customer comes up on my lot and they see that, we can instantly just go get gas, right? So we don't have to pay attention to that as much as a dealership that's actually trying to sell an EV, right? This car has to be charged over a long period of time to be able to get it to where we can go on a test drive. Gas is not the problem with that, but an EV, big issue because that 1%, which they only had a slow charger there. We had it plugged up, and I sat in the car probably for 15, 20 minutes. And in that time frame, it went from 1% to 2%. So I figured out at that point that, okay, this is a slow charger, and there is no way that I'm going to be able to test drive this car within the next 3 or 4 hours. So I went inside and said, look, okay, I'm not going to be able to drive it today. I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow to be able to drive it. But let's talk numbers. And I'm a serious buyer. As long as the car drives well, I will buy it. So I sat down with the salesperson to look at the actual numbers, and that 13,000 ish number that I saw on the internet pricing quickly turned into about $18,000 out the door, which to me is absolutely ridiculous because I mean that's about a 20 to 25% increase of the price that they are not letting you see. So they had like $3,000 of just add-ons, just all this BS they want to charge. I know it was nitrogen, they had paint protectant, they had they called it their warranty package or something like that. I don't know, but they had all this stuff that they want to add on to this used car. They want to add on this $3,000 thing to this $13,000 car. And then on top of that, they're going to have the dock fee, registration tax, everything like that. I asked them if they would wholesale it to me. I'm a car dealer, and that way I can just put it under my dealership name. And they wouldn't do that either. So and I really feel like all the dealerships that I've talked to that I've tried to do that at usually the reason is because they want to be able to charge me that dock fee, and they know that if they are going to just be reassigning it to me as a dealer, wholesaling it to me as a dealer, there's only like one sheet of paper that you got to fill out, and their signature, my signature, all done, right? Well, they probably can't charge another dealer a dock fee, or another dealer's not going to pay that dock fee, that $6.99, $7.99, $8.99, whatever ridiculousness it's going to be, when they're only really producing one sheet of paper. So dealers, at least all the ones that I've talked to that I've been trying to buy one of these cars from, it's always the same answer. No, they won't wholesale it to me. They want me to actually buy it as an individual, which is frustrating, but I guess I can't get it because we don't even charge a dock fee at my dealership. And I would do that in a second, wholesale it to another dealer. But these bigger dealers that I've been dealing with, they won't do that. So just to go back on the miles, because I know I'm probably going to get destroyed in the comments later about saying, okay, there's no way you should buy a Tesla that's got 180 something thousand miles. And I would agree with you, people in the comments, and I would not recommend to anyone else to actually do this, go into this endeavor. Let me do it. Let me spend my money on it, and then we'll figure out if it's even a viable thing. But I'm going to continue to look. This is obviously not the dealership that I'm going to be buying my car from, just because the $13,000 price point that I was willing to go and gamble on a little bit on this high mileage Tesla quickly turned into $18,000. And this is what you have to deal with as a consumer out there. And I do not envy you at all. Just for me looking for myself over the last month and a half or so, you talking. Oh, there we go. We're back. So it frustrates me every single time I'm going through the situation. And I haven't found a dealer that's even similar to what we do here at my shop, where we're not charging dock fee. We're very transparent with our pricing. If you see something, the price online, that's literally what you're going to pay. That just doesn't exist out here anymore, and it's so frustrating. It's got to be so frustrating as from you as a consumer. And I was going on to mileage, and then I got off of it. I would not recommend you buy a high. But I'm going to have to find the right dealership, or a Tesla is going to have to magically pop up at one of these auctions for me to be able to buy. I would prefer to have an S. I know later on in an auction today, there's a Model 3 that's going through. I'm going to go look at it, and if it's reasonable, I might buy it just to try it out. But my end goal is to be able to buy a Model S to be able to try it out and show you guys what's going on. But we're going to go to the chat right here. So Small used car dealer lots that sell cars 5,000 under have been closing up here in Southeast Pennsylvania. I'm surprised that that's the situation. What we've noticed at my car dealership right now, and for those of you that don't know, I have a car dealership that we specialize in selling cars that are $5,000 and under. We're in North Carolina. Um, what we've found is that our sales have ticked up quite a bit in the last few months. And I really think it's an element of, okay, people are not willing to buy in that middle tier right now because either they're saving money, things are tighter, inflation's just really biting them right now. So we're inheriting a lot more customers. And on the flip side of that, a lot of those dealers in that mid-range tier, they're losing sales. They're not selling a lot of cars right now. So a lot of those cars are actually getting cheaper. So we're getting hit basically with the perfect storm, but in a good way here at my dealership, where, okay, I'm inheriting a lot more of that middle tier of car. So I'm able to buy more cars at auction. And then two, I'm inheriting more of a customer base because those mid-tier consumers are trading down. When I mean trading down, they're spending, they're buying a cheaper car. So I'm getting more customers and I'm able to buy more cars. So I'm very interested to hear that a lot of those dealerships around you are closing up that are in the lower tier, and they're either buying cars wrong because that segment of the market's really good right now, or they're too greedy, and it's probably the latter. I've seen that a lot of dealerships in my price range that try to go in this price range, they want to make $2,500, $3,000 cars, just like you can do on a $10,000 car. But you can't buy a car for $2,000 and sell it for 5 grand, because that $2,000 car you're buying is just not, it's not worth 5 grand. You got to sell it for 3,500 bucks. You're just not going to find customers that are going to be willing to pay $5,000 for a $3,500 car. And when you get to the point where a dealership, they can only make $1,000, $1,500 a car, especially if you're on floor plan. If you finance your cars, which a lot of car dealerships do, I don't. I pay cash for all my stuff, but you have added fees, you have added expenses on each one of those cars, so that uh, pops up the price of what these dealerships have to actually sell their cars for. And it takes a lot of volume to be able to make money, to be able to operate when you're only making $1,000, $1,500 a car. And that's what we do. We do a lot of volume. So I can understand why it's difficult for a dealership that's leveraged, that is greedy, and is trying to make too much money on their car. So I'll go back on my statement. I'm saying that the market's good for those kind of dealers, but you have to operate. You have to operate in the right way. So here's a question about the Tesla. Why do you want a Tesla? Do you have a 220 charger at home? So we just moved into a new house. I'm getting one installed into my garage. It's not a big thing. We've got some contractors coming out to do some other work, and they said that they can just throw in while they're there. So I will be able to charge it overnight. Now that's why I'm also open to getting one of these smaller battery motors just to check. Like, this is a 75. This Tesla that I was looking at, that I'm not going to buy now. Even if they call me back and said they sell it to me for $13,000 at this point, it might be just out of principle that I'm not going to buy it. It's just, they made me so mad yesterday. But that battery, I think when it was released, it was only rated for like 210 miles. No, it's 250 miles. I think somebody could correct me on that. But I think it's 250. And then even if the battery has lost as much to get it down to like 190, 200 miles or whatever, I'll still be able to. I'll be fine as long as I'm not taking on any long trips or anything, or driving to a longer auction one day. But I'll be able to charge it every night at my house and not have to worry about supercharge. That's one big problem that a lot of people that want to buy an EV that they're running into, if they don't have a garage, or if they don't have an easy way to charge it at their house, then they're going to be out, because they just can't just easily go to a gas station and charge their car. They can't easily go to a supercharger and be able to charge their car. I can tell you, in my area, and I'm right next to Charlotte. Like, we're next to a big city, and the closest supercharger to us is like 20 miles away. So it's not a viable solution for a lot of people that don't have an easy place to charge it at their house. But for me, I'm able to do that, so I'm willing to do the test on one of these Teslas to be able to just charge it. Because even with me wanting to make content about this, if I could only charge this thing on a very slow charger, like here at my shop, or if I could only charge it as supercharger, I would not be doing this. I love you guys and I want to give you the best content possible, but I'm not driving to a supercharger every 2 or 3 days to make this happen. So the only way that I'm letting this happen is getting the 220 put in my garage and being able to charge this thing overnight. So that's the plan. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, like this video. Let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions of where I can find this Model S. I want to just go buy one at auction, but that's not. Since I've been looking for these things, it's been like a month and a half, 2 months now. I've literally seen 0 Model S's at any of these auctions I go to, and I've been checking 4 different auctions every single week. I haven't seen one. There hasn't been one go through. So that's where I'm at. That's why I'm stuck. And that's why I'm probably going to have to pay a dealer some kind of stupid fee to be able to buy one of these things. And going through Tesla is not an option because Tesla is way higher price than even these dealers. Like I've found that a similar Model S at going through Tesla's used inventory versus a dealership is like $5,000 to $10,000 more expensive. So Tesla's not the way to go. I will not be buying one from them. Anyway, I tried to end the video earlier. Now I'm going to end it. It's ended.